Macarons are such delightful little treats. They look so elegant and taste simply divine. Many bakers feel they are tricky to make. However, I am here to tell you that you can achieve wonderful results at home. It all starts with understanding the basics. With a little patience and care, you can create macarons that would make any patisserie proud. These delicate French cookies are truly special. They have a crisp shell, a chewy inside, and a lovely, ruffled foot. Let us begin this baking adventure together, step by step. The lovely thing about macarons is their surprisingly simple list of ingredients. You really do not need anything too fancy to start. The main components are almond flour and icing sugar. These create the delicate texture of the macaron shell. Almond flour, sometimes called ground almonds, should be very fine. Icing sugar, or powdered sugar, adds sweetness and structure. Together, these two ingredients form the base of our beautiful macarons. It is all about quality and how you prepare them, which we will discuss later. Next, we need egg whites and granulated sugar. These ingredients are for the meringue. The meringue provides the lift and airiness in the macarons. Fresh egg whites are best. Some bakers like to age their egg whites, but fresh ones work perfectly well. Granulated sugar, or castor sugar if you have it, is used to stabilize the meringue. It helps to create those lovely stiff peaks that are so important. You see, these are everyday baking ingredients. Nothing too complicated at all, is it? So, with just 4 basic ingredients, you are on your way. The journey from these simple items to professional-looking macarons is one of precision. It is not about complicated techniques. It is about following the steps carefully. Pay attention to the details, and you will be rewarded. These little cookies are a testament to how simple things can be transformed. They become something truly spectacular with a bit of know-how. We will explore all the secrets to success. Soon, you will be baking macarons like a true professional. To make perfect macarons, having the right tools is rather important. You do not need a kitchen full of expensive gadgets. However, a few key pieces of equipment will make the process much smoother. Good tools help you achieve consistent results. Think of them as your trusty baking companions. They will help you every step of the way, from mixing the batter to piping perfect circles. Investing in a few basics will set you up for success. With these tools at the ready, you are well equipped. You are ready to tackle the wonderful world of macaron making with confidence. Here's a simple macaron recipe to get you started. 100 grams of almond flour, 100 grams of powdered sugar, 70 grams of egg whites, 100 grams of granulated sugar, a pinch of salt and food coloring of your choice. Follow these measurements and you'll be on your way to macaron success. The quality of your ingredients truly matters when making macarons. Using good quality, fresh ingredients will make a noticeable difference. Choose finely ground almond flour for the smoothest shells. Some almond flours can be a bit coarse. If you can find super fine almond flour, that is even better. Fresh egg whites are also key. I always say good baking starts with good ingredients. It sets the foundation for a successful bake. So do not compromise on quality if you can help it. It really does pay off in the end. One of the most important preparation steps is sifting. You must sift your almond flour and icing sugar together. Do this not once, but twice or even 3 times. This might seem like a bit of a fuss. However, it is crucial for achieving perfectly smooth macaron tops. Sifting removes any lumps and aerates the dry ingredients. This prevents bumpy shells and ensures a delicate texture. It is a simple step that makes a huge difference. So please do not skip this part of the process. It is a secret to professional-looking macarons. Another important detail is the temperature of your egg whites. They should be at room temperature before you start whipping them. Room temperature egg whites whip up more easily. They create more volume compared to cold egg whites. This means a lighter, airier meringue for your macarons. Simply take your eggs out of the refrigerator a couple of hours before you plan to bake. Or you can carefully place the eggs in a bowl of warm water for a few minutes. This small step contributes significantly to the structure of your macarons. Precision is paramount in macaron making. Therefore, I always recommend weighing your ingredients. Use a good digital kitchen scale for this. Volume measurements, like cups, can be very inconsistent. Weighing ensures you have the exact ratios of ingredients. This is especially important for macarons as they are quite sensitive. Slight variations can affect the outcome. So, for consistent success, weighing is the way to go. It is a habit that all good bakers adopt. It takes the guesswork out of baking and leads to reliable results every time. The meringue is the very heart and soul of a macaron. Getting it just right is essential for success. We will be making a French meringue. This is a lovely, straightforward method. It involves whipping egg whites and gradually adding sugar. The goal is to create a stable, glossy meringue. This meringue will give your macarons their characteristic lightness and delicate chew. It is the foundation upon which your perfect macarons will be built. So, let us focus on getting this stage absolutely perfect for our delightful treats. Before you even begin to whip your egg whites, ensure your equipment is spotless. The bowl and whisk attachment must be completely clean and free of any grease. Even a tiny speck of oil or fat can prevent your egg whites from whipping up properly. I always wipe my bowl and whisk with a little lemon juice or white vinegar. Then I rinse and dry them thoroughly. This ensures there is no residue left. This simple precaution is a game changer for achieving a stable and voluminous meringue. It is a small step with a big impact. Start by whipping your room temperature egg whites on a medium speed. Whip them until they become foamy and start to increase in volume. Once they reach the soft peak stage, you can begin to add your granulated sugar. Add the sugar very gradually, a tablespoon at a time. Continue to whip the meringue as you add the sugar. This gradual addition helps the sugar dissolve properly. It also creates a more stable meringue structure. Rushing this step can lead to a weaker meringue that might collapse later. Continue whipping until the meringue is stiff, smooth, and very glossy. When you lift the whisk, the meringue should hold a firm peak. This peak might have a slight curl at the tip, like a bird's beak. The meringue should also look shiny and luxurious. If you rub a little of the meringue between your fingers, it should feel smooth. You should not feel any sugar granules. This perfectly whipped meringue is now ready. It is ready for the next crucial stage, the macaronage. Well done, you are doing splendidly. Section 5. The Art of Macaronage, Folding to Perfection. Now we come to what many consider the trickiest part, the macaronage. This is the process of folding the dry ingredients into the meringue. It sounds simple, but it requires a gentle touch and careful observation. The aim is to combine the ingredients thoroughly. We also need to deflate the meringue by just the right amount. This creates the unique texture of macarons. It is a delicate balance, but I know you can master it. This stage truly defines the final outcome of your macarons. To begin the macaronage, add about 1/3 of your sifted almond flour and icing sugar mixture to the meringue. Gently fold it in using your silicone spatula. Use a circular motion, bringing the spatula down the side of the bowl. Turn the bowl as you go. It is not a stirring motion. You are trying to incorporate the dry ingredients without knocking out too much air. Once the first third is mostly combined, add the next third. Repeat until all the dry ingredients are incorporated. As you continue to fold, the batter will begin to loosen. You will notice it becoming shinier and smoother. You need to continue folding until the batter reaches the correct consistency. This is often described as being like molten lava. It should flow slowly and continuously from your spatula in a thick ribbon. When the ribbon of batter falls back into the bowl, it should slowly melt back into the surface within about 20 to 30 seconds. This is known as the ribbon test. Be patient and check the consistency often. It is very important not to overmix or undermix the batter. Undermixed batter will be too thick. This will result in lumpy, tall macarons without proper feet. Overmixed batter will be too thin and runny. This will cause the macarons to spread too much and be flat. They might also crack during baking. Finding that perfect lava consistency takes practice. So do not be disheartened if it is not perfect the first time. Observe carefully and you will soon get a feel for it. This stage requires your full attention. Section 6. Piping Dreams. Creating Uniform Shells. Once your macaron batter is at that perfect lava-like consistency, it is time to pipe. Prepare your piping bag with a plain round nozzle. A nozzle size of about 8 to 10 millimeters is ideal. Carefully fill the piping bag with the macaron batter. Try not to incorporate too many extra air bubbles. Twist the top of the bag to secure it. This will give you good control when piping. Piping neat, uniform shells is key to professional-looking macarons. Using a template ensures uniform size. You can find many printable macaron templates online, or draw circles on baking parchment. Place this template underneath your baking parchment or silicone mat on the baking sheet. This will guide you as you pipe. Hold the piping bag vertically, straight up and down. Keep the nozzle about half an inch above the baking sheet. Apply steady pressure to pipe a round mound of batter. Stop squeezing and quickly flick your wrist upwards to finish. Pipe all your macarons onto the prepared baking sheets. Leave a little space between each one, as they will spread slightly. Once you have piped all the batter, you need to tap the baking sheets. Tap them firmly on your work surface a few times. This helps to release any trapped air bubbles. It also helps the macarons settle into a smooth, even shape. You might see some small air bubbles rise to the surface and pop. This is a good sign. It helps prevent cracks during baking. Now for a very important step, resting the macarons. The piped shells must be left to rest at room temperature. This allows them to form a skin. The resting time can vary from 30 minutes to over an hour. It depends on the humidity in your kitchen. You will know they are ready when you can gently touch the surface of a macaron. Your finger should come away clean, without any batter sticking to it. The surface should feel dry and matte. This skin is crucial for developing the characteristic feet during baking. Avoid very humid days for macaron making if possible. Section 7. Baking Day. Achieving crisp shells and ruffled feet. Baking your macarons correctly is the final hurdle to achieving perfection. Preheat your oven thoroughly. An oven thermometer is your best friend. Macarons are particular about temperature. Most recipes suggest 140 to 160 degrees Celsius, 280 to 320 degrees Fahrenheit. Every oven is different. Experiment to find your oven's sweet spot. Once preheated, bake your macarons. Place one baking sheet at a time. Bake for 12-18 minutes. Watch for ruffled feet. Avoid opening the oven door. Check for doneness by gently nudging. Remove and cool completely. If they stick, they might be underbaked. Admire your beautifully baked shells. Section 8. Filling and maturing, the delicious finale. Your beautiful macaron shells are baked and cooled. Now comes the delightful part, filling them. Classic choices include chocolate ganache, buttercream, or fruit jams. Pair up shells of similar sizes, pipe or spoon a generous dollop of filling onto the center. Place the second shell on top, give it a slight twist to settle the filling. Place the filled macarons in an airtight container, store them in the refrigerator for at least 24 hours. After maturing, bring them to room temperature before serving. The wait is truly worth it. Section 9. Troubleshooting and tips for terrific treats. Even the most experienced bakers encounter issues when making macarons sometimes, so please do not be discouraged if your first few batches are not perfect. Hollow macaron shells are a common problem. This can be caused by an unstable meringue, overmixing the batter, or the oven temperature being too high. Ensure your meringue is stiff and glossy. Be careful with the macaronage, and check your oven temperature with a thermometer. Sometimes, letting the macarons mature can help fill small hollows too. Cracked shells are another frequent frustration. Cracks can occur if you have not rested the macarons long enough to form a good skin. They can also happen if there was too much air in the batter that was not tapped out. Overmixed batter can also lead to cracks, or the oven temperature might be too high, causing them to rise too quickly. Ensure that skin is properly dry to the touch before baking. Tap your trays well, and again, monitor that oven temperature carefully for the best results. What if your macarons do not have those lovely feet, or perhaps the feet are lopsided? Lack of feet often means the batter was too wet or undermixed, or they did not rest long enough to form a proper skin. Lopsided feet can be due to uneven heat in your oven, or you might not have piped them straight down. Using a template and piping vertically helps. Try rotating your baking sheet halfway through baking if you suspect uneven heat. Every oven has its quirks, you see. The most important tip I can give you is to be patient and practice. Macarons demand precision and attention to detail. Do not give up if they are not perfect straight away. Each attempt is a learning experience. Weigh your ingredients, use good quality parchment paper, and try to bake on a dry day if possible, as humidity is not their friend. For presentation, a simple dusting of icing sugar can look lovely, or arrange them by color on a pretty platter. Remember, baking should be enjoyable, and the reward of a perfect homemade macaron is truly sweet.